regular city commission meeting to order. Would you please rise for the invocation, followed by the pledge of allegiance. Commissioner Bennett.
Father God, thank you for today. Thank you for all your many blessings. Thank you for our city, and that we get to come together to govern ourselves. Thank you for the officers that are here tonight, Lord, and the ones that are going to be sworn in. Please watch over our staff. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome all here this evening. First on our agenda this evening is approval of our minutes from our regular meeting on January the 25th and our special meeting / workshop on January the 26th. They have been distributed. Are there any additions, solutions, or corrections? Hearing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. This motion carried unanimously. Next, Chief, presentation, oath of office to our new police officers.
Mayor, Commissioners, it's my great pleasure to present 4 of our officers. Now, we have gotten a little bit behind with our ceremonial oaths. We're going to try to catch up a little bit. First officer is Tremaine Owens. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, he's a retired detective with Detroit PD, which he enjoyed serving for over 20 years. During his career, he received extensive training, which helped make the Detroit a safer city. In 2014, he led the department with the most DUI arrests. His greatest highlight of his career happened in 2015. He was chosen as Officer of the Year for Detroit PD. Becoming a police officer was something that he had desired since childhood. Tremaine did share that one of his greatest accomplishments of being a police officer came a couple of years ago watching his 19-year-old daughter graduate from the Detroit Police Academy. He hopes that through her, he has started a legacy and tradition of service within his family and law enforcement. Ryan McMorrow. Originally from Pottstown, a suburb of Philadelphia, he moved to Florida with his family in 2021. He always wanted to be in law enforcement because of a strong desire to help people. He chose the Winter Garden Police Department because he was looking at different agencies. He enjoyed visiting the city, and when approaching our officers to share his desires, all of the officers were welcoming and made him want to become an officer here. His goal with the Winter Garden Police Department is to become a detective and work his way up the ranks. Spencer Gregg. Originally from New Jersey, where he wrestled and played football in high school, his father was a police officer for 27 years in New Jersey, where he retired as a lieutenant in patrol. His father was his biggest role model, and he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. Spencer spent a lot of time in his childhood vacationing in Central Florida with his family. He finally moved to Florida in 21 to pursue a lifelong goal of becoming a police officer. Officer Gray is currently enrolled at USCF, where he plans to finish his bachelor's degree in criminal justice. He enjoys spending time with family or friends, and one of his favorite hobbies is traveling. Lorenzo Ramirez. Originally from Eustis, Florida, grew up in Tiberias. In 2021, he began his career in corrections with the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Lorenzo wanted to expand his knowledge and become dual certified for law enforcement as well. He was interested in becoming a law enforcement officer, and our recruiters met with Lorenzo. Basically, we stole him from the sheriff's office. He then achieved his first goal of becoming a police officer at Winter Garden PD. His next goal is to get as much training and knowledge as possible and join a specialty unit such as SRO, as well as climb the ranks. Lorenzo enjoys watching movies, football, and spending time with his friends and family. Gentlemen, if you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Officer Lorenzo Ramirez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the laws of the state of Florida,
the laws of the state of Florida,
and the charter and ordinances
and the charter and ordinances
of the city of Winter Garden,
of the city of Winter Garden,
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties of police officer
perform the duties of police officer
for the city of Winter Garden.
for the city of Winter Garden.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Under regular business, we have resolution 24-04.
Yes, sir. Resolution number 24-04, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Garden, Florida, identifying and officially designating the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The One Winter Garden is a leading local community advocacy organization for the East Winter Garden community with a respected voice, whose unifying mission, as the name suggests, is creating one single winter garden from north to south and from east to west. In November 2023, the One Winter Garden organization approached the city with a proposal to officially recognize and designate the East Winter Garden community as the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. This designation was prompted by both the collective members of the organization and by the residents of the community, as expressed through formal survey and feedback. The community believes that this name recognition to the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood better represents the spirit of the community in a manner that's dignifying and respectful of the community's rich past and well-documented heritage. The city fully supports this view and is enthusiastic to partner with One Winter Garden in this resolution designating the official name to the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. With that, staff recommends approval and adoption of Resolution 2404, designating East Winter Garden officially as the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions from the commission?
Yeah, a nice sign and a nice plaque. Going in East Winter Garden?
Well, we're absolutely working on that.
All right.
That's part of the signage,
Excellent.
wayfinding, and we also have a website that's already had it sort of set up, designated.
Perfect. Okay. I just want to say, we always want to celebrate the rich African-American culture in East Winter Garden, always have, and the city's here for you. If there's anything else or any other things that you would like us to, see there, would like us to do, we're all ears.
You'll make a motion there, Mark?
Oh, we're good. Make a motion, we approve resolution 24-04 with staff recommendations.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Comments? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you for all. Thank you all for all the Thank you. Recommendation to approve site plan for 100 Avalon Road. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This is a request for site plan approval of the Tucker Ranch Health and Wellness Park located at 100 Avalon Road. The proposed wellness park will encompass 20 acres of the 240-acre Tucker Ranch property and include a number of amenities to promote community health, including a trail system with fitness areas, community gardens, a greenhouse, and a retreat building for classes of recreation. The overarching goal of this project is to create a community hub for exercise, health, and nutrition for the mind, body, and soul. Staff has reviewed this application and recommends approval of the Tucker Ranch Health and Wellness Park site plan. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the commission?
Very pleased to see the continued motion on this. Nice job, you and all the city staff. Thank you so much.
Keep moving it forward. Any other questions? We need a motion.
Motion to approve the site plan for 100 Avalon Road, Tucker Ranch Health and Wellness Park.
We have a motion for approval. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you. Recommendation to approve renewal of Microsoft Enterprise Agreement. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. The city's Microsoft Enterprise Licensing Agreement is due to be renewed for the second year of a 3-year term. Renewing is going to allow us to continue to utilize Microsoft 365 as well as other related services and software. The cost of the renewal is $153,964.66 and is included in the current fiscal year's budget. And with that, staff would recommend approval of the agreement. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the commission? Need a motion?
Motion to approve the Microsoft Enterprise Agreement.
Have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Recommendation to award purchase order to Bouler Pool contractors. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Staff has received 2 bids for refurbishment work at Bouler Pool. This work includes resurfacing of the pool, new tile steps, and some other associated work. Spees Incorporated bid $79,992, and we received a bid from Vermont Pool Contractors for $82,000. Staff's recommending we approve the purchase order to Vermont Pool Contractors for this work at Bouler Pool. The request is based on Vermont's performance for the same work that we did at Farnsworth, I think 3 years ago now, along with some other ongoing maintenance work. Vermont also, about 4 years ago, we had a major leak there at Bouler, and they came in and helped us repair that. So we recommend that the purchase order go to Vermont.
Questions from the commission?
They're gonna be able to do it before summer peak season?
Yes, that was part of what we needed, is to get this in and done, actually should be done by the end of April, I believe.
And because we work with them, you have confidence them to do it. So.
Yes, that's part of why we're recommending it.
You don't need to finish the knowledge.
No.
Okay.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, motion carried unanimously. Purchase for 2 2016 Freightliner rescue ambulances. Yes, sir.
So we're requesting permission to purchase 2 used 2016 Freightliner rescue ambulances from the Waldorf Volunteer Fire Department at a cost of $49,500 each. These vehicles would be used to update our current reserve fleet, replacing a 1999 Freightliner and a 2006 International. The vehicles have been inspected. They're in good, usable condition. I've attached some photos to your packet. Then we would ask for about $12,000 each to get these units in service. We purchased in 2021 a used unit from them, and it has been Rescue 23 and is currently that. We've obviously approved a couple of new units, but those are expansion units. One of those will replace the 2016 when it eventually gets here, maybe this year, and the other one was an expansion unit as well. So this will bring our reserve fleet up to really get within where we should be on reserve units. Typically, you want to do about 7 years for a primary unit, and then keep it for an additional 7 years as a reserve unit. And this will get us right in where we need to be year-wise. Be glad to answer any other questions.
So we have 3 in service now as principal primary. We have 2 in reserve. We get these 2. We'll have these 2 in reserve, and the 2 that are in reserve we can keep, sell.
We're going to sell those. So eventually, when the current 2016, that new vehicle comes in, that would mean the last old unit. Our current reserves are a 99, an 05, and an 06. So it would mean by the end of the year, our reserves would be 2016 models.
Okay.
if that makes sense.
We just wanna make, these look almost brand new from the pictures.
They
you
took
see.
good care of them, and the one we bought from them before, you know, has been awesome. It's worked out very well.
We obviously want good vehicles, yes, sir. Good. Any other questions from the commission? We need a motion.
Motion to approve the purchase of the vehicles for the Fleet Records in $123,000.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Surplus, sell the surplus vehicles.
So, you have attached a list of surplus vehicles and equipment that are no longer usable or obsolete, and we'd like to get rid of those units. Would like to answer any questions?
Looks like they need to be sold. Any other questions? We need a motion.
Motion to approve the vehicles and equipment.
So, we have a second.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Recommendation to award purchase order to T.D. Thompson Construction. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. A new 40-unit subdivision has been approved on South Lakeview Ave. The collections team has documented a collapsed sanitary main where the proposed subdivision will connect for service. The installation of these two new manholes and gravity piping will reestablish that connection. Staff would recommend issuing a purchase order to T.D. Thompson Construction in the amount of $121,779.20. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the commission? So if this new subdivision wasn't coming on, would we still be doing this?
No, currently the houses that are connected to the line go in a different direction. It wasn't until we went out, once this was approved and TV'd the line, did we discover this. So there wouldn't be a reason to do it if the 40-unit subdivision wasn't coming on.
Any other questions from the commission? We need a motion.
Make motion we award the purchase order to T.D. Thompson Construction for two sanitary manholes for $121,779.20 and staff recommendations.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Order to Atlantic Pipe Services. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is approximately 1,100 linear feet of sanitary sewer pipe that requires repair prior to the scheduled resurfacing project in Valencia Shores. In addition to the lining, APS will replace old sanitary manhole frames and covers to prevent subsidence after the new asphalt is installed. Staff would recommend issuing a purchase order to Atlantic Pipe Services in the amount of $143,653.66, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the commission?
Well, it's very appreciative, it's no neighborhood, glad we're getting the water lines, the surfacing and sewage, so thank you.
Okay, it'll help with the I issues that we talked about earlier.
There we go.
There we go.
It's a great investment.
We're down to 112 million. Okay. We need a motion.
Motion to approve the purchase order to Atlantic Pipe Service APS Valencia Shore for $143,653.66 with staff recommendations.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Recommendation to approve agreement for acquisition of property located at 813 East Bay. Yes, sir, Mr. Williams.
Mayor, Commissioners, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. The first property we're bringing to you to consider purchase is 813 East Bay. If you look at the staff report, about the third map in, you'll see red hatched lines on property that we have acquired in this area. We are now getting to the point where we're getting a large enough piece that we can start implementing some of the plans that we have for this area. This is a large and important piece to that program, so we would recommend that you purchase it. Property owner was not interested necessarily in selling. When he found out it was the city and what we were doing, He was very supportive. They're retired in South Florida, the owners. They've agreed to a price of $250,000 for the house and the lot. It is rented at the moment, and we would have to honor the lease till the end of the year. But we don't anticipate that would be a problem for what we're trying to do in the area. The price is a little bit less than what we've been paying there, but it is still, we think it's a very fair price for what we're getting there. We recommend approval to have the city manager execute all the documents to purchase the property at 813 East Bay Street.
Questions?
I just want to comment again, it's another testament to the city. I appreciate the city doing it. There's not too many cities in Florida that would spend this money. This is a CRA money going to good use, and the city stepping up and buying this property, which will then be turned into good use for East Winter Garden, whether it's affordable housing or redevelopment, commercial. We'll have all the way now from East Bay to Center Street. So that's a good chunk of land. To north, right, exactly. To really do some redevelopment down there. So thank you.
Is that the form of a motion?
Yes, it is.
Second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You may continue on, sir.
Thank you. The second acquisition we are bringing to you tonight is part of the CenturyLink property down on North Plant Street. 4.5, 5 years ago, when we had a different city manager, we had pursued this property, and they were not interested in selling to us. But being persistent, as most city managers are, both of them, we, I guess, bugged them enough that they finally said, okay, we'll sell you most of the property. So we have a contract in front of you. It's taken a long time. It's got a lot of detail to it. But it's 1.5 acres of land that they're willing to sell us at a price of about $1.2 million. There are some other conditions. They have to be annexed. They have to have a lot split. The buildings, the very old buildings that are on that property, will remain in their possession and on their land. The rest of the land will be sold to us. Those are communication equipment in those buildings that they feel is permanent and will not ever be moved. So we will work around. There's the options. There are a lot of options for the property. Recreation uses adjacent to the trail, access to the trail, overflow parking, various downtown the parking situations get difficult again. So there are a number of uses that we can use a piece of that size at over 1.5 acres that we feel it's appropriate to buy this at the price that they've agreed to and the other concessions that they've requested. And be happy to answer any questions you have on it.
So they're bringing in the brick buildings into the city.
Yes. The entire property will be in the city.
And they can't sell those because they're equipment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission?
No, just appreciation to the city manager and all the staff. This has been on my list since the beginning, and we have this beautiful park going down right at the south that area there. The fact that we're finally getting this in, so thank you for your diligence. It's a big win here. So nice job.
You could tell that was in the county, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
all right. Any other questions? We need a motion.
Motion to approve the agreement of acquisition of property at 861 West Plant Street in CenturyLink, and authorization for city manager to execute all documents and conditions for $1.249.268.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Property that we have for you is needs a little bit of explanation. We're proposing to buy the 2 duplexes across from City Hall, owned by the Anthonys, for $1.5 million. I kind of swallow hard every time I say that number, but the market has caused that situation. A private property owner bought the burned out building and the concrete block house next to it for $500,000 each. he had a contract in on Anthony's for $1.5 million and closed in 1 week. The Anthony family thought it more appropriate to approach the city if we were willing to match that contract and the conditions and the time constraints, so that it would be part of the farmer's market property and provide for other uses. It's in rising inflation and everything that's going on, it's difficult to do it, but it is a hold-up piece that this is your one and only chance to get it.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Dan.
if there were any way to get it cheaper, we would, but it's critical to the functioning of those properties. It may even help us with some of our delivery of goods to the stores and get those trucks off the road and onto a parking area for part-time there. So there are just so many reasons that property is important to us that we would hope we could grant them the approval to have it at the price that they need to have, because they had another valid offer from the guy that bought the two below.
What's the chance of getting the Whitaker house in the next Whitaker's one to burn?
We will be meeting with that property owner that bought those two, and he's very supportive of the city, and I think we can work something out.
Now we finish it.
It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap, but he is willing to work with us, so we'll go for that next. He had even had some interest in going after the historic house at the corner and fixing that up.
Ms. Deeds?
But while the price is high, the benefits are even higher. The board has always invested in the community, and this is one where it's, in the tough times, it's sad that this is coming to us at this time, but we better get it while we can.
Should have bought 15 years ago.
We could have. I'm not sure Mr. Anthony would have sold it back then.
No. 10 years from now, who knows?
Right.
Any questions from the commission? Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve the acquisition of the property at the southeast corner of South Highland and Tremaine from the Anthony's for $1.5 million.
We have a second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Could we be sure that the city manager signs that tonight, because the closing's tomorrow?
Thanks for holding session to approve special event. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. West Orange High School is requesting to hold their Sen'ya Later Parade on Wednesday, May 15th, 2024, from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. with a rain delay date set for Thursday, May 16th, 2024.
Good idea.
Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yes.
They will stage everything in the parking lot on the southwest corner of Plant and Dillard, as usual. And then the parade will follow the usual route west on Plant Street, turn around to Central Ave, and then go back to South. This event will be students walking down Plant Street and will not include any vehicles other than one permitted golf cart. So with that, staff recommends approval of the Sen'ya Later Parade.
Only one golf cart, right?
Only one.
Principal Turners. Okay, questions from the commission? Need a motion?
Make a motion to approve the special event, Sen'ya Later, on Wednesday, May 15th, 2024, and the rain date the next day.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The next one is the Evening at the Pop special event request. The Rotary Club of Winter Garden is requesting approval to hold their annual Evening at the Pops event at Newton Park on Saturday, March 23rd, 2024, with a rain delay the next day, Sunday, March 24th, 2024. Event setup and activities will be the same as the previous year. The Space Coast Symphony Orchestra will be the musicians once again. And so with that, we recommend approval of the Evening at the Pops event.
Questions?
No rain delay on this one?
No, it's the 24th.
Wait, is the incoming Rotary president here? I'm
Okay.
mad.
We need a motion.
So moved.
Have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? Motion is second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And it is a great event. Matters from citizens of Winter Garden.
My name is Denique Bullfalk. I live at 261 Center Street, Winter Garden, Florida, 34787. I am the president for the community group One Winter Garden. One Winter Garden's goal is to engage our residents in civil discourse and action regarding the future of our community. We believe in one single winter garden from north to south and west to east. However, we are proud of our unique history. We have heritage of loving family, loving friends, and loving God. We are strong people that have been through a lot. But as God's word teaches us in Isaiah 41:10, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. Mayor, commissioners, and city staff, thank you for recognizing our unique history and for including us during the process of this special designation, bringing additional dignity to our area, the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Chloe Johnson, 641 East Bay Cove, Winter Garden, Florida. I am the vice president of One Winter Garden. I was born in the community commonly known as East Winter Garden. My father moved us out when I was very young, wanting something better for us. But this is my home and I knew I would always be back. My husband and I decided to raise our 4 children here, and that's what we're doing today, in a home on the east side of Winter Garden. I just want to point out that the area commonly known as East Winter Garden typically did not include the areas north of Plant Street. Well, when being mentioned in official city documentation, this includes the homes on Hennis Road, south of Division, and the homes of West Crown Point Road alongside Railroad Avenue. But these areas were always a part of our community, including my personal family who has owned homes for their generations. When the city drew the first version of this historical map that was part of today's resolution, these areas were again left out. We brought this attention to the city staff and they immediately heard us and corrected the long-standing issue without any hesitation. Finally, my family's historical homes, along with many other families, will be properly recognized as part of our community. Thank you to Mayor John Rees, all the commissioners, City Manager John Williams, Economic Development Director Mark Hutchison, former Economic Developer Tanya Gerhardt, and to all the city staff. Thank you. In addition, also thank you to our District 3 Commissioner Mark Mayhew, who has never left us out during his 8 years of service. As he entered his retirement, I hope you will enjoy. Again, thank you city staff and to our residents for coming together for unity. We are now known as the historic East Winter Garden neighborhood. God bless you all.
No matters tonight, Mayor. Commissioners, thank you.
Okay. City Manager.
I have a few items, Mayor. On the dais, I've prepared or distributed ordinance 2409. It's a draft ordinance relating to telecommunications and requirements for right-of-way permit applications and registration. Just a little background on that. Over the past few years, we had these underground utility providers that come in and put underground fiber optic networks for telecommunication lines. Over time, we've incurred some damage to our infrastructure, and sometimes, most cases, these folks complete the jobs, leave, and only for us to discover the damage several months after the fact, and the repairs are somewhat costly. As we come forward in today's world, we have a lot of new fiber optic underground companies that are coming into multiple cities throughout the state to install large networks. Earlier today, I sent out an email with some of the news stories reflecting some of the damage that they're causing within some of these communities. So we felt like that it was important for us to kind of get ahead of this before they did come to Winter Garden and request permitting, which we have limited authority under state statute to prohibit them from using our right of way, but we have every right to make sure that our infrastructure was protected and that of our residents. So we worked on a draft ordinance. It's certainly not perfect, but we wanted to distribute that tonight for you to take a look at it. And staff and I will continue to work with our city attorneys in finalizing this document and bring it back to you for recommendation for adoption. Second item is in keeping with the theme of purchasing property. There are times, and Ed pointed out that the unique time frame that we're operating in with the Anthony property, that there are key pieces of property that become available to us that we need to be able to respond to and try to secure rather rapidly. So I wanted to request your consideration to give me authorization to purchase some of those key assets and cap that limit. And I'll make the recommendation that we go with $300,000. Obviously, we would have the attorneys prepare the appropriate documents. They would review those documents, and then I would certainly advise you of the purchases that would be made. So I would ask that in the form of a motion, Mayor, if you would consider.
Okay. Can we get that motion from someone?
Let me just ask for the
Yes.
motion here. Is 300,000 adequate for your needs, or don't be concerned if you need more? This is probably a good time to have that discussion.
I think that's, we're comfortable with that. I think if we ran into a situation that required it to go above that, I would certainly reach out and request maybe consideration for a special meeting or something like that.
Motion for the authorization for city manager to sign property agreements up to $300,000 without further ado.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion made a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Okay.
We have some parking improvements that are going to be occurring down at Vets Park, adjacent to the pickleball courts. We've received several complaints over there with potholes, dusty conditions, and so forth. As you know, we've already kicked off our annual resurfacing, so we felt like there was a great opportunity to take some of the millings that are coming up off of our existing streets and then reuse those and create some improved parking for the folks over at Vets Park there. So that activity is actually advertised on the city's website, and the work's actually planned to occur sometime next week, weather depending. So the pickleball courts will remain open, but the parking in that area will have to be combed off so that the contractor can do the appropriate work.
Yeah, because they drive in every direction. Yes, they do. They park everywhere. So.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, this is a little bit of surprise. When I asked Mr. Mike Keynes if he would stand up for a moment. Mike has decided to retire and move on. It's bittersweet. Bitter in the fact that he's going to be leaving the services of the residents of the city. And sweet for him that he's at a point where he can go on and start enjoying life a little bit more. And I want to say that Mike's been here for 10 years, and I have had 5 years working with Mike very closely, and I would say that he is one of the best at stretching a dollar bill into $1,000. So he is going to be deeply missed, and he's an extremely valuable member of our team, not only from the fleet and facility side, but I know from the emergency management side. There's many times that he's here riding out storms and making sacrifices. So I just felt like it was important for us to take a moment to recognize Mike and his service to the city and thank him and wish him well.
Thank you, Mike, for all that you have done for the city. It has been appreciated by all of our residents, so thank you again. And we will miss you.
I live here, so it's a vested interest.
Yeah, we know where you live. Nothing further. Commissioner Sharman.
I would just say that I'd echo that Mike definitely can stretch a dollar, as was evident in the purchase of those vehicles tonight that are shot and polished up. So thank you for your service. And that's it.
Okay. Commissioner Mason.
I just want to thank everybody for being here, especially our folks, residents from East Winter Garden. I love seeing chambers filled when you're here and you're engaged, and I would ask that you spread the word and get people coming and be engaged. If you need anything, we're here. Mark Hutchinson is available. Please ask us. You'd be surprised. We get asked for a lot of things, and we usually can deliver. And if we can, we will. I promise you that. And that leads me to thanking staff. There hasn't been too much that I've come to staff for and asked for, whether it was for East Winter Garden or other parts of the district here, where they've actually refused or said, no, we can't do it. And they've gone out of their way to make these things happen, and so has Mark and Tanya. So I want to thank them. It's been very active in East Winter Garden, and we've gotten a lot done, and there's a lot more coming, especially now. It's really picking up with projects. So I want to thank staff as well for being there for the residents of District 3. Very good. All I have. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner View?
Two things real quick. First, thank the city manager and all your staff. There's a couple of pretty important things that's been on my list. Obviously, Tucker Ranch moving forward, that was great. Valencia Shores, moving that project forward, so happy to see that one. And then, of course, the CenturyLink property. So again, thank you so much for everybody that participated that made that happen. And then, Mark, I know down there that it took a whole lot of people to make this historic East Winter Garden, but I know your passion and your drive for this has been an instrumental part, and you've been a great advocate, so congratulations to you and to everybody for this happening. Nice job.
Thanks, sir.
And then, Mike, final goodbye to you, although you're my neighbor, so you're not gonna get away too far. I still feed your dog every day, so, thank you for all your service, and it's truly appreciated, sir. And that's all, sir.
Commissioner Bennett?
Congratulations on retirement. Enjoy. That's all.
With that, we will adjourn.